Greetings, welcome to the Lumumba Africa report. This is Lumumba Africa. I haven't been making videos in a while, in large part because of the changes that have been taking place on YouTube. I've been on YouTube since it almost started, about 2006, and since that time, many changes have occurred, not only censorship, which we've seen a lot recently, but self-censorship, which is closely connected with the monetization that took place, and you see a lot of people self-censoring or making channels simply for monetary gain. And so the content has become less engaging. Uh, most people talking about things, they get a lot of likes, a lot of clicks so they can make money, and it's just become uninteresting. So I just haven't been on YouTube recently or for quite a while. But for this recent story, I decided to make a video concerning the incident involving Snoop Doggy Dogg and Gayle King. I'm not surprised that Snoop Doggy Dogg apologized. I I was expecting it really, uh, because people don't understand entertainment, the entertainment business, and it shows. Because if they did understand the entertainment business, they would never watch movies. They would never give money to watch movies. They wouldn't have Netflix. They wouldn't have iTunes. They wouldn't buy music from the corporate music producers and distributors. They wouldn't have anything to do with it because it's a cartel. It's a mafia. It's a closed system where they basically pay off people to be actors, to be images. In the music and entertainment industry at large, you are no better than a Coca-Cola bottle. The Coca-Cola bottle is used to market Coca-Cola, and that's its function. And they cannot change the shape of the Coca-Cola bottle because people associate Coca-Cola with that shape, and so to change it would disrupt their market, disrupt their revenue. It's the same with these entertainers. These entertainers play a part. Jennifer Lopez and that Shakira on the Super Bowl, they are Latin whores. They are to play the part of a sexualized Latin whore that titillates the audience to want to have sex with Latin people so that you don't criticize the importation of wide swaths of immigrants from South America and Central America. That's what that was for. That was a Coca-Cola bottle. Snoop Dogg plays the part of a street thug, a black street thug that is safely accessible to white Americans without fear of being robbed and mugged. And they can buy his music and watch him on TV, and they can see him hugged up with Martha Stewart. And he plays that part, that safe, sanitized part, so they can have access to what their image of blackness is. It's the same as the Uncle Ben's box, the Aunt Jemima image on the pancake box. All of that was to give white people access to their perception of what blackness is, or of what the non-white other is. And that's tightly controlled by white people, particularly European Jews. And they do it to make money, not only in the United States, but now increasingly around the world. And so I wanted to bring this article to the attention of the people who may listen to this video. Now, I didn't know about this website until fairly recently. I was listening to an interview and someone made a reference to a person who writes on this website called the Daily Stormer. I had heard of the Daily Stormer, like in passing, as supposedly right-wing white supremacist blogs, and but I never went to it at all. But someone was mentioning somebody by the name of Andrew something. I didn't know what his name was, and so I had Googled it, and this came up, and it turns out he writes on this blog, which definitely has a lot of anti-black screeds on it. But I did find this article, which I found was interesting because it's good to see how authentic, white nationalist thought is portrayed and perpetrated. We get a lot of the image, and I'll play a video at the end of this video where Dr. Amos Wilson discusses this phenomenon. We get a lot of so-called pushback against quote white supremacy. Lots of people, claim President Donald Trump is a white supremacist, and we should all be fearful of this, white supremacist white lash that is occurring, and all of that kind of stuff. Which obviously there is a system of white hegemony and white control, white power, but the apparent pushback from the establishment against so-called white nationalists or the alt-right type people is a facade. It's fake, and it is to demonize a certain group. It's white sacrifice. It's to demonize a certain group of white people in order for the real white hegemonists, white supremacists, to continue to gain access to non-white markets, non-white resources, non-white peoples for the purposes of increasing their corporate global power. But anyway, to this article I found when I was looking up this guy, I saw this article entitled "Women Go Insane After Snoop Dogg Calls Gayle King a Funky Doghead Bitch for Disrespecting Kobe Bryant." And the article is surprising. Well, first of all, check out this. I mean, this tells you the point of view of this blog, of this website. Here they have a demographic countdown of whites becoming a minority in the United States in another 23 years and change. At present, the ratio or the percentages are 59% to 40% roughly of white versus non-white, and declining rapidly. And the global percentage here he has is 11.5. So it's a pro-white, white nationalist alt-right blog. Okay. And I remember the reason I was looking up this guy is because they said this author who writes on this website. I don't think it's this guy Lee Rogers. His name is Andrew something. Uh, they said he's anti-white woman. He's anti-white women. He writes a lot of articles against white women. And I thought, whoa, an alt-right white guy writing against white women. I got to check that out. So that's how I came across this website. But anyway, I saw this article, and here under the caption on the picture says, "Women are freaking out after Snoop Dogg put the funky dog head bitch Gayle King in check." This author, Lee Rogers, writes, "Oh, there's been a huge blow up on social media after rapper Snoop Dogg called out the CBS Negress reporter Gayle King for disrespecting Kobe Bryant's legacy on television. He accused her of being a race traitor and called her a funky dog head bitch. He also questioned why she would spend time attacking a deceased black man like Kobe while ignoring the ongoing situation with the Jew Harvey Weinstein." Now, this is one of those sites that talk against the European Jews, where they have Europeans talking against European Jews. And so I actually thought that was a good point they made here, and it was in support of how people originally supported what Snoop Dogg said. I wasn't holding out any hope that he would stick by that, so I was just basically waiting for him to backtrack, and he did. So here he writes, "Snoop's attacks towards King came from her bringing up the decades-old rape allegation against Kobe during an interview with former NBA player or WNBA player Lisa Leslie. It appears he was trying to get Lisa Leslie to say negative things about Kobe by bringing up the topic." So here, this is the criticism that several people in, have pro-black channels have made, and you got to hear as a pro-white alt-right website making the same point. And so it did. I'm bringing this up to say that it was obvious. It was so obvious what was happening that even white nationalists have to say, yeah, she was just trying to sully the memory of Kobe Bryant and get Lisa Leslie to buy in and assist her in doing that, you know. And obviously, because a lot of these so-called alt-right or white nationalists or whatever they want to call them, websites and blogs have been purged and censored, they are not particularly fans of the mainstream media. So it's within their interest to point out people in the mainstream media and tools that are used to promote a certain agenda. The thing is, Kobe was never convicted of rape, and the rape allegations against him appear to be a hoax. So Snoop has a point. Why was King going out of her way to smear someone who was dead? It'd be one thing if she brought up the allegations when he was still alive, or even for historical context, but she was obviously trying to tarnish Kobe's reputation. It is especially bizarre that she would do this when the rape allegations were never proven. What's interesting about this whole fiasco is how women, and in particular black women, have been closing ranks behind King and attacking Snoop. Even the lying negress Susan Rice, a former member of the Obama administration, felt compelled to chime in. Oprah Winfrey was on television crying about how tough the situation has been about King. And then you have other non-black women attacking Snoop on social media. Susan Zirinsky, the Jewish woman who runs CBS News, was even defending her, citing supposed journalistic integrity. And he embeds some tweets from these non-white, non-black women and some Jews and the Negro bootlicks who carry water for White Zaddy, and basically they're all saying that Snoop is the most evil person ever because he called out King for smearing the dead. It's comical that they are trying to portray her as a victim even though she brought all this on herself. Did she not think that she would get some sort of backlash for going out of her way to tarnish the legacy of a popular basketball player who just died in a helicopter crash? Okay, and he embeds some more tweets here. And I want to go back and just kind of talk about Susan Rice here. Uh, he calls her the negress Susan Rice. This little quadroon was running around sucking on a white dick, having octoroon children, who is responsible for the deaths of many people in that Libya fiasco a few years later when she was in the Obama administration, responsible for the re-enslavement of African people on the African continent by Arab slave traders, responsible for instigating and fomenting the what is termed the Rwandan genocide, because she was serving as the Undersecretary for African Affairs during that time in the Clinton administration. This woman is reprehensible. She is disgusting. She is a no good, low down, dirty ass, fucking lying, reprehensible bitch that should be taken out and hanged by the nearest tree until dead. She is a traitor. She is absolutely a low down scum that should not breathe the same air as decent human beings on this earth. For her to come out and actually refer to something as despicable tells you where her values are, tells you what she's all about. And we have to stop getting happy when we see some melanated person in some position, a prominent position, because they're being used to forward an agenda which is decidedly anti-black. For her to actually, with her reprehensible record, to come out and criticize Snoop Dogg in this public way and even threaten him with violence by claiming that she's going to get White Zaddy's army to destroy him. This was not really about Snoop. It was about black people in general. This woman has no compunction about killing white sloths and black people for her white husband and his people in order to make the world safe for her octoroon children. This woman is disgusting. She should be persona non grata around black society. No one should bring up her name. And if you do a quick Google search of this woman, or any kind of search engine, sure, I don't use Google, but any search engine search, you'll see her constantly at these white universities running her damn full mouth about her policy initiatives, and how the United States government should act in the world to quell threats and all this garbage. She's one of these dumb bitches that you knew in high school, who's a teacher's pet. She sat at the front of the class. She got straight A's. But she had no life. As soon as the homework was given, she was doing her homework on the bus. Doing her homework as soon as she got home and turning it in on time, and standing at attention in front of the teacher with a shit-eating grin on her face. Looking for approval. And the teachers gave her approval, and they just sent her off to university where she did the same crap. Licking the ass of the professors so she could get all of the primo positions and scholarships and internships, and she licked ass and sucked white dick until she got to the top and was appointed as a useful negress tool for white hegemony and a white hegemony system. That's who she is, and for her to act like she has any kind of morals or values other than ensuring that white dick goes in her crotchety ass pussy, it's a laugh. It's disgusting. So, and then you have all these other Negro bed wenches, Oprah Winfrey, who's more white dick than a porn star, is out here fake crying with her fucking weave perm, whatever the hell she's done to her hair, and she hates black people. I mean, for her to do this and say that somebody's scared, and then to bring up Bill Cosby is in jail as if all black men are murderous criminals waiting to destroy black women. It's insane. She's a traitor. This woman should not be listened to. How she stayed on TV all that time, I don't know. I just like, how is, and why won't she go away? I mean, she's supposedly a billionaire. That's what people have to ask themselves. Why these so-called billionaires never retire? Why these so-called people with hundreds of millions of dollars, tens of millions of dollars, never say, "Damn, I'm worth $200 million. Let me go on and retire. Let me, buy a house in this small, out of the way neighborhood, and you know, open up a few local businesses and just chill. I done made my money." But no, they stay in front of they stay out here. You have to ask why. Because they're clicked in with the government and the CIA. This bitch, what's her name, Negress Susan Rice, all these people have been chosen in their youth to play this role that they are playing. And Susan Rice and Oprah Winfrey and all these people don't retire. They keep coming out because they're paid for life and given positions and status to be lifetime tools for the white hegemonic system. And that's what they're all about. That's why they never go away. That's why $1 billion isn't enough for these whores. Oprah Winfrey, Gale, and Susan Rice, and this. I mean, this bitch Rosen McGowan, she's a whore. She's a known whore that whored her way into Hollywood. And if you look up her IMDb page, she hasn't done any movie or television show of significance for years. Why is she constantly out? Because she's a dried up used whore who's been thrown away like a discarded condom. I mean, she whored her way into Hollywood, sucked and fucked her way to get into these little rinky-dink movies she was in. And once her ass started going south, the tits started sagging, nobody wanted to fuck her anymore. Then she starts hollering about how she was raped and used and all this shit because nobody wants to see anything with her in it. And so this is what happens. And to circle back, this is why I found this website, because I wanted to see if this website called people out like this. Supposedly, they criticize white women, so I wanted to see if that happened, and they do. Uh, but you can see here, Mika Brzezinski, this whore, fucking anchor baby immigrant, child of an immigrant, Zbigniew Brzezinski, who's an architect of the latest stage in global white hegemony, is running her mouth. So I mean, the media and the government are one and the same. Zbigniew Brzezinski was national security advisor for Jimmy Carter, he was an advisor to Barack Obama, and here we see Obama administration people, children of Obama administration people, Hollywood whores, Gayle King, Rose McGowan, and Oprah Winfrey coming out to put another person who's on the payroll in their fake gangster rap operation, Snoop Dogg, in check. That's really what this was. It said, Snoop Dogg, we have our status and money because we mislead the black people, and you're out there waking them up by calling out Gayle King. We have to ensure that black man is constantly demonized. That's why we've put gangster rappers, on TV, so that this is the image of what black men are: gangster thugs, uneducated dope smokers. Women are all, intellectual and, go-getters and, capable of running administrations. And that's what black people are. And that has to be the image. And he started to interfere with that. So here they end the article by saying, what you have here is a situation where a black female was called out for her bullshit by a black man. Black females and some non-black females have viewed what happened as a threat, just like I said, and are using lies, tears, and other deceptive female tactics to defend King and falsely claim that she's a victim. And since black men are lower than black women on the social justice hierarchy, the Jewish system is getting behind King. This shows that feminism isn't just a problem that impacts a single race. It is a problem that impacts all races, and blacks are no exception. The fact that King, as a black woman, would deliberately attack a dead member of her own race for her own selfish gain is testament to this. Women have no loyalties to anything or anybody except themselves. And, I'm not sitting here showing this article to say, yay, yay, the white people are on our side or anything like that. I'm just basically saying, look, it's obvious what happened. Even white nationalist alt-right fucks have to acknowledge it. And, people need to get off of this adoration of Hollywood and celebrities and this shit. I mean, even recently, there was some dude, I can't remember his name, some British comic who was hosting an award show, and he even had to castigate some of these celebrities, and he got some backlash for that. But the point is that Hollywood is crap, Hollywood is trash, and there was an author by the name of Trojan Pam. She wrote this book under the name Umoja, but she wrote four books: The Beauty Con Game. She wrote The Interracial Con Game. She wrote Black Love is a Revolutionary Act. And she wrote this one, Death of a Dark Nation. I'm going to wrap this up. I'm going to have to wrap this up because I'm running low on battery power. But the point is, these books, in all of these books, she called out celebrities, especially black celebrities. She said you cannot trust them because they're in a world where they're dealing with people that they have to please. And the worst thing for any celebrity of any race, the worst thing they can face is being ostracized from the world of parties and it's backslaps and adoration and fawning groupies. And that's what they're about. They're not about anything else. And so you can't trust that anything they say is going to be of value or worth your time. So here is something that Dr. Amos Wilson said that I think you should think about, especially when you see in the media alleged representation from non-white people and what their true function is and what the strategy behind showcasing non-white people is.
The other part of your game is, though, and the constants, and this is what we have to look at. You have to get beyond the obvious changes and look behind those changes. And say, well, what really has changed? And you recognize the most basic things have not changed. As a matter of fact, the apparent changes have been put in place to maintain the basic ones. You see? And I often tell people racism is going out of style not because the white man is better, but because he has a better weapon for maintaining his racial position. You see, the racism is being given up, not necessarily because we're so militant, that's a part of it. I'm not discrediting our efforts, but also because there's a recognition that overt racism is no longer necessary to maintain control of our people. As a matter of fact, it's non-racism, apparent non-racism, that is the best way of maintaining racist control.